Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's Big Dave, and it's time for this edition of 100 Hug Stories for the last 100 days of 2023. Just a mini podcast of positivity from my experiences of hugging the world. And so this story goes back to 2014, right on Christmas Day, but the roots of this story and the embrace go back to 2008, when right after I had written an article for ESPN that was a major success. It got over 2 million hits. I decided to explore this connection that I had with people, just delve into it a little bit deeper by biking across the United States again, going from San Diego to New York, but using my off days to volunteer at local charities. So each week, from a homeless shelter in San Diego, School for Blind Children in Phoenix, a hospice in Las Cruces, a halfway house, a cancer treatment center, an animal shelter, a drug addiction center, Walter Reed Medical Center. And then when I was in Mobile, Alabama, I gave service at Penelope House, a domestic violence shelter. And I knew it was a long shot to be able to make a positive impression with the women. I mean, I can't change my size. It's hard for me to change my volume. I'm loud. I curse a lot. I speak with my hands a lot. I'm just as people say, I'm a man's man. I'm a big dude, and it was tough for me to. I knew it was going to be a tough negotiation, but I felt if I went in there, I spoke honestly, openly, and just let them see my heart that I was going to be everything was going to be all right. And everything was all right. I made such a positive impression that I pledged to return one day. Now, the older that I get, the more my personal word means to me. And the fact that I couldn't get down there relatively quickly always gnawed at me. And so even though it was years later, I had an idea. I was going to go down there and be with the women and children on Christmas Day when they opened up their presents. Now, this was no simple feat for me to pull off. I told my clients that year that instead of getting me a gift, apply whatever money they were going to spend on me to bed linens, toys for kids, and feminine hygiene products. And I ended up getting so many feminine hygiene products that I literally had to rent a car and fill it with stuff. And I dubbed this tour the Tour de Tampon. Really, I had cases and cases of tampons in my car, and I drove 1,200 miles from Philadelphia to Mobile. And it was great to be with the women and kids and see their smiles on Christmas morning. But right when it was about time for me to leave, one woman called me over and said she wanted to talk to me. And I was like, sure, what's up? And touching my arm, I could see her eyes started to soften a bit. And she said, listen, it's been a long time since my son has heard the voice of a good man. And I'd appreciate it if you went in there and talked to him. And she pointed to a large playroom, and I could see her son in this playroom all by himself playing with a toy car. And I just looked, and I looked back at her, and I said, I don't know what to say. And now the woman was in full crying mood, and just with watery eyes, she said, say anything. And with that, I gave this woman a hug, and I walked into the room, and I looked down at her son, who looked up at me with these big, bright blue eyes, and I said, hi. I'm not revealing any more of that day because really nothing more needs to be said. I went in there and I did what I did. And I did what I could to put a smile on this boy's face. But the reason I'm telling this story is that because the holidays can be a struggle. And so if you know someone who's struggling, who's going through it, doesn't have to be a domestic violence situation, it's just struggling this holiday season, please do what you can to be present for them in any way that you can, any way that you feel comfortable with. Just be present for them. And maybe that means you show up. Maybe that means you drop off cookies. Maybe that means you give them a call or a text or whatever. Again, not everyone's built for everything. So just be present in the way that you can. But by all means, don't let the holidays go by, and don't let the holidays go by without doing what you can to uplift somebody that may need it, that may need you, that may need your smile. And that's today's hug story. I hope you enjoy it. I hope that you have enjoyed all of my stories, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Be well, everybody. Come on, man. Come on, man. Get this.
We gotta get it.
We got to get a hug, man.